Well, after suffering their first loss of the season last night in Rock Island, Quincy High School had to quickly put the game behind them. And his teammates say that, plus his story, all taught them one thing. I even saw one student after another walk up to this marked crosswalk, waiting for cars to go by. About this part of the field was the only thing on fire. Many refer to golf as the old man sport, but around the tri-states, that's not true. She actually told me that they planned for the worst and actually ended up getting the best. When students come to school hungry, it impacts how they learn, but a tri-state school district is trying to make a difference. Well, the Gems were dominant in their first half of the season, leading the West. But in the second half, they've been near the bottom, only ahead of the Hannibal Cavemen. However, things have started to look up for the Gems, who are 5-5 in their last 10 and on a 2-game winning streak as they took on the Danville Dance today. Could they extend it out to 3 games? Well, we'll get it started in the bottom of the first. Gems already down 3-0, but C.J. Schaefer Jr. trying to get it all back in one swing. That is over the fence. That would be a 2-run shot. Gems are down 3-2 in the top of the fourth. Colin Borchers is going to have quick reflexes with the ball coming right back to him, getting the runner out over at first base. It is still 3-2. Well, in the bottom of the fourth, Deion Thompson trying to get things started, getting a hit over into center field. You're going to see the fielder not able to come up with it. Thompson would get in to second on a double. Next batter, Shea Stein hitting the ball right up the middle. That would end up scoring Thompson. It is now 3-3. At the end of 4. In the top of the fifth, Borchers showing he's got the skills again. Right back at him, getting the out, continuing to hold it to 3-3. In the bottom of the fifth, though, Houston Looser trying to get a hit, and Jeff Hoytby for Danville snagging it, keeping the score over at 3-3. And then we'd end it right here. Mitch Carriger sending the ball to the center field, and it would go off of the wall. That would end up being a double. However, he would not score. And then Shea Stein would actually hit a grand slam in the 7th, but Danville would score 2 more in the 8th. Your final in this one would be 12-10. Danville taking the win. Well, the Cavemen were also in play today. However, they would lose 4-0 to the Kokomo Jackrabbits. They fall to 11-42 on the season. They left 6 runners on base in this game. Well, let's kind of kick it on out to Florida, where the Cardinals took on the Miami Marlins. The Marlins unveiled the All-Star Game logo for next year, as they will be hosting the All-Star Game. But this would not be a good game for the Cardinals. In the bottom of the first, Christian Yelich doubles into center field. That scores Tommy Pham. They are on the board 1-0, and it wouldn't be the only runs they score in the first inning. Marcell Ozuna is going to rear back and crush this ball over the left center field wall. That's scoring 2 more. Marlins would end up being up 4-0 at the end of the first. And in the bottom of the fourth, it doesn't get any better. Adeiny Hechavarria hits a deep ball into center field. Holiday trying to come up with it. He drops it. That's going to score another runner. Marlins up 5-0 at this point. And the runs continue to pour on in this inning, where Martin Prado, he's going to get a double of his own down the left field line. That scores more runners, and they would go up 11-0. That would be your final for this game. Marlins crushing the Cardinals 11-0. Well, the Cubs took on the Seattle Mariners early in the day with a 6.5-game lead. Could they take advantage? Well, early in the game, Wade Miley picking off Chris Bryant. He would give up no hits through 6 innings and just continue to pour it on with 8 strikeouts. Well, in the bottom of the 7th, he would finally give up the no-hitter, and the Cubs finally get a score on the board. If you look here, Dexter Fowler trying to score. He's originally called out. However, the Cubs would challenge it. And if you take a closer look, you would see he gets his hand on the plate just before he gets tagged. The call would be overturned. Cubs go up 1-0 in the inning. Well, a little bit later, it'd be flip side for them. Right here, Wade Wiley is going to take a pick off to first base. Chris Bryant trying to score home. Then he would be called safe. However, the Seattle Mariners would challenge it. And then they would look at it. They would end up getting that overturned. Seattle would end up winning the game 4-1, your final. And we also take a look. There was some golf going on, and then That was suspended to rain. Jamie Walker and Robert Strebe is going to be tied at first. That will resume tomorrow at 7 a.m. That's all we have in sports. Final word next. The Pittsfield Saukeys are rebuilding a tradition for its football team. The program with lots of history is in a slump, not reaching the playoffs since 2009. Last year also didn't go well as they only notched one win, but the players and coaches say the end of the stretch is in sight. Hop on board the Gridiron Preview Express. We're taking on out to Pittsfield.
We're ready this year, and I feel like that. We're not intimidated by any of the big teams.
Pittsfield looks at 2016 as the start of something great for the football team. The Saukeys went 1-8 in the Sangamo Conference and gave up over 43 points per game last year. Coach Kurt Simonson told his players the games won't get easier.
The remarkable thing about that conference is you better be ready to play every week. We have to do everything to a T. Our concentration, our focus is going to have to be on all the little things.
Leadership will be key to this team, and taking on a leadership role is senior Austin Motley, who says the focus is a winning season.
We've put in a lot of hard work. I mean, we started in November in the weight room, then we went to the winter, and we were running plays in the gym, we were lifting. Attendance-wise, we had really good attendance.
The Saukeys lost a big piece with the graduation of quarterback Quinn Leahy, and junior Noah Mendenhall knows it.
Quinn kind of left some big shoes to fill, but I've been working with Coach Petty, and I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited mostly.
The Pittsfield players know the challenges ahead of them as they try to return the program to former glory, but say they're all in it together.
We have a lot of brothership in this group of guys, and you know, the older guys are always looking out for the younger ones. We're not picking on them, we're picking them up, you know. We're telling them, you know, keep going. It's going to get better, it always does.
6 of Pittsfield's 9 opponents made the playoffs last year, and the Saukeys feel ready to join them.
The expectation of success is there, so that's always the goal. But I think there's another goal that we have to concentrate on, and that is we have to get better every week.
Players and coaches alike feel this year is the return of Saukey pride.
Hopefully that they look at us and be like, that's that squad, that's that group that turned this whole program around.